Hello guys, and welcome back to Field of Glory Empire. Now, I forgot to hit save at the end of the last recording, and I ended recording there for the day. So, I had to run the turn resolution again, and so I got completely different building choices. And so, those choices are a little bit different. We have an orchard building up here. We have a land expansion now building down here in Adramite. And it's just like a bunch of little differences like that. Food and health buildings being prioritized where possible. A crafter district going here into Pancha, for example. And those are really the only differences to note. We do now have this province formed, is something that I didn't really look at. Meaning we can recruit a new provincial unit. And honestly, it's the same thing. It's the Arabian Cameleer. Does that sound familiar? It should, because we already have access to the Arabic Cameleer. It's pretty much, from what I can tell, the exact same unit. I don't really see any differences at all, except for the fact that since it's technically different, because it's from here and not here, the cost on it resets. So someone's getting Arabian Cameleers. I think there's a similar thing up here, honestly. A similar kind of Cameleer that's probably the exact same thing. But with that being said, we still are swimming in money. We are swimming in money. And you know what? I'm going to take this decision to distribute slaves. I'm going to go ahead and just do that, honestly. Because I was looking around and we have some stacked up in some places I'd like to get. It may negatively affect this place. I hope it doesn't. But we'll see how that goes. I'm going to end this turn and proceed along. Thought I'd record an episode while I'm waiting for my dominoes to get here. And we'll see what happens. So we still have this army moving over to that east side. The same kind of path. Hopefully not eating too much food along the way. Looks like we got a token. So that's potentially nice. Number 3 in Legacy. There's now a new population over here. It's on food. I had just everybody on food. I'll move someone over to infrastructure. This army is eating a lot of food. 14 food all the time, which is not really that amazing. Even putting someone on infrastructure doesn't speed the infrastructure up. We're going to consume more food this turn, so I don't really know what to do with that pop. We did take some extra damage. And it's to the point where we can't really repair it all. I don't think we took that much damage the last time around. I have a feeling we should stop standing here, though, because we're not healing all the way. We might as well just let this conquer everything and then send this one elsewhere. It's a bit late to try jumping in over here, but we could, or we could get ready over here. Okay, so that's interesting. So I had already started disassembling the glassworks here. But the perfumery was badly maintained due to the lack of infrastructure, and that seems to have fixed the problem of infrastructure. Well, no, not entirely. That hasn't completely fixed the problem entirely. But look at that. I can make it even, but it's still not great. So I'm going to keep this on disassembling because it gives me some more infrastructure to work with so I can actually proceed stuff. Because that stuff's great and all, but we don't have the food to survive here, especially not with this unrest. And this is going to be the front of any war that's going to happen now. God, I can barely get a food building making here. It's because we're still under pacification. I might need to wait until this is fully under our control. Same thing with just every region under pacification in general. This growth might not happen in one turn now that there's elephants stampeding through. So that's unfortunate for you. This can only move, well, this can move pretty darn far in one turn right now. I am tempted to go try to jump on something over here while I can, even if it's just this island, because there are some unique resources to be had. And if I did land somewhere in front of them, potentially we might be able to finally unlock trade, because I still think that they don't have any ports. Yeah, look at all these food and health things, but no ports, man. What the hell? A general that we weren't using retired from activity. We have that 4th progress token, and that perfumery is gone. I don't necessarily care about any of the rest of these decisions. And right now, again, we're just swimming in money, over 4,000 of it. Manpower is our big limiter. We do have these 2 armies now. Any more armies would cost even more, and more importantly, they would cost metal. I know we have started getting some metal production going here. Looks like we have a public works here. We can now add on a new building. We have a decent amount of culture gain down here already, honestly, so we don't really need... Well, does this even give culture? No, it doesn't. The tavern, it gives loyalty, which would also be good, but I think I'll go for the food and health from the salt house. It seems to be one of the more beneficial things that I can build here right now. Let's go ahead for that salt house, and that'll be timed pretty interestingly. Maybe I'll go ahead and move you over to food. Even that's not really going to change a whole lot, because I'd like to grow this pop a little bit faster. Don't care a whole lot about infrastructure. This place, this region, this province is always laden, overflowing with infrastructure that it's sharing with the other regions, I guess is the word here, regions that it has. And with that, that's basically everything we can do this turn. We have like 4 more turns till our truce expires with Arabia. Certainly they might come for us. A new general is available to serve. The health of our ruler has degraded to poor. How sad for the ruler. Our heavy infantry is not recovered, but everyone else over here is, which is great, I suppose. Still not sure if I should even be down here when it's very likely we're just going to get attacked anyway. What did that do to food down here? They consumed quite a bit, stopping a new pop from growing. We do have a new pop over here. And I guess I might as well go into infrastructure now, even if we are under pacification, because we have enough stockpile to just keep getting new pops. Unlike here, where we're still under pacification for 4 turns, we could barely maintain anything. I guess we just need to wait for that to go away. Oh, damn, but that doubles the speed. Okay, well, we're going to have to just deal with that then, huh? Then over here, we're still in unrest, which is unfortunate, but I can maintain a positive food supply if I don't... Yeah, I can get this shepherd house built way sooner and hopefully get us into a better situation for food, anyway. Other things could be improved here. We're still in unrest, but I don't really know how to fix that other than raising loyalty. There's some options you can do to try to fix it, actually, that I'm aware of. I can get a guardhouse here. That would be great for garrisons and not consuming a slot in general. A blacksmith would be great for metal, but I try to get in what I can without consuming slots. That's something I really tried to do. Wow, a builder hall. 22% infrastructure bonus. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to go for the guard tower, though. I'm going to go for that. And that is in Arabia Felix province. We only have 1 guy working on infrastructure. Oh, that's so funny. I don't even have 1 guy here. Wow, I went a little crazy. Let's make sure we have 1 guy. I want to have like 1 guy on it, at the very least. And down here, we finished building the land expansion. I think we just finished 2 at once, actually. Interestingly, even with that land expansion, we only have a single slot available right now. And it's 3 turns until pot growth. I might just dump some more guys into food. See if that makes any difference potentially. We have enough money and other things. I feel like I need to leave at least somebody else on infrastructure. Because again, this is in the region where everything is shared. Anyway, yeah, that paces some things out. We could go for health and food. The aqueduct definitely looks pretty nice. The noble district could be nice because it gives, ignoring the fact that we're missing bonus culture, we do have access to marble, which is like a base requirement. It does consume infrastructure. I mean, we might actually want to leave at least 1 more guy on there. Because if we do have this, we get a 14 loyalty bonus. It would take 10 turns to build, which would allow for time for slots to open up. But we have 76 loyalty here, a lot due to like slave populations we've accumulated. This could help make up for any slaves. It would take long enough to build, and it would generate additional culture over time if we did get access to any luxury, silk, or gold. This would be a pretty nice place to have it for sure. But it would also increase decadence at the same time. But we're not exactly doing poorly when it comes to decadence. I could also go for the warehouse 4 turns, which adds a lot of infrastructure and infrastructure bonus, which is not really what we need here right now. We have plenty of infrastructure here, and the health bonuses and food are pretty nice as well. I think I'm going to go for that loyalty bonus. kind of try to plan ahead in terms of that. Looking back to the capital here, we have some room to build some stuff as well. I could go for some infrastructure money bonuses, 0 slot usage, upgrading our quarry to a large quarry. That would probably consume our only health bonus that we really have right now, which is a choice. We do have a lot more slots here for building that we can use. So I could also use this fortune teller, which would just generate money, while also generating 4 loyalty bonus, which is not really a lot, or maybe go for more health in general. The options are really open to me, but we're going to be building here quite a lot. I can even upgrade the training ground to something that actually uses a slot, but generates more manpower, and more manpower is important. It needs flax, which we do have nearby. Costs some money to import from one section over. The flax, however, a lot of money can be earned, but we already make more than enough money if we set it up some trading tents, because we have just about everything to trade except for silk. So there's a lot of options here. The base infrastructure bonuses are actually really nice from the large quarry, because this is the place where the dam is. The more infrastructure we generate here, you know, the less I need on infrastructure in general, and it could just spread throughout the province, whereas other locations focus more on pop growth, food, culture eventually as well. So, you know, 6 turns to make this, sure, and that's while spreading, which boosted this up to like 13 turns, because again, the infrastructure is being shared in general in these locations. Otherwise, next turn here, we're going to arrive at Bat and try to take it over. We're going to keep waiting, trying to recover this unit here. So we do have our battle here, a frontage of 6, so this should be theoretically pretty quick. Our skirmishing is superior to theirs. Ooh, oh, we've just witnessed our first elephant death to enemy warriors. That's, yeah, they can get one shot pretty easily, especially if they've lost their armor. It's quite interesting. We have a pursuit. And there you go. Unfortunately, one elephant did die. That is sad. Yeah, they're pretty squishy. They were pretty just simple and easy to get, so I figured I would get them. Well, we do have them, and one died, sadly. We can replace that, probably not with a heavy infantry, maybe with some regular infantry. This was honestly just really accessible to get, as I recall, because if we do go for, say, where's the regular infantry instead? Yeah, there was a little bit of a manpower difference. We got some money back. See, we were laden with money. And I guess we did get some metal back, which is cool and all. If I do want to add any siege capability to that stack, I will end up replacing most of the elephants when they inevitably die with some regular infantry. If they all die, eventually this price will come back down to normal, which is kind of cool, I suppose. Oh, and this general was too old and was retired. That is sad. 69-year-old, 74-year-old, dang. Well, we had a military triumph for the guy. This is a 50-year-old. I think we'll give the new youngin', who's honestly pretty decent, at least, to this stack. This does lower their experience, unfortunately. However, everyone else is not actually injured, so we'll probably proceed on with the conquest. And we will set up, ooh, very interesting choices available to us. I suppose I'll take the palisade while it's available. Under pacification, this will grow relatively quickly. Wealthy citizen donated money to speed up construction, +9. That's nice, especially here where we have very little infrastructure. The royal tomb in Saba was pillaged and nothing remains of the wealth it once harbored. Well, that's sad. The cenotaph, once a royal tomb, it's been desecrated by plunderers or raiders, is now mostly empty. Only a few engravings and tapestries remind the traveler of who was once resting here. That was our first leader, I believe. That's sad. I guess this kind of happens historically all the time, so it makes sense. Still provides culture and legacy increase at no slot usage. Takes 1 infrastructure to maintain. It's still a good thing. Maybe it'll go away forever eventually. I'm not sure. But that is sad. Another... Okay, no, that's just this general retiring from active duty. That's not too bad. They're going to go march on that. Our boys here are still not technically fully recovered, incredibly. What is happening here? Semitic rebels. Semitic rebels. How did you pull this off? Rebels, what does that mean? That can't possibly be from just like one location, right? I feel like that's impossible. They're still at war with Ethiopia, only Ethiopia. Peace with me for 2 more guaranteed turns. Well, that's weird. Semitic rebels. It's like I either feel like they had a civil war or something. I'm not sure. They're a monarchy, a merchant's oligarchy. If I remember correctly, they were an old one, so they either progressed or, but yeah, back to stable or something. Or maybe this is what a rebellion, like a civil war, looks like. I feel like that's probably not what a civil war looks like. Semitic rebels just over and over again. I feel like that's more a loyalty problem. Their loyalty is not super high in certain regions. It could just be that. It's funny that, like, it's owned by Semitic rebels that are all desertic citizens. That's especially very weird. And their capital is conquered by whatever this is as well, so they're kind of fucked up. Hopefully that will keep them off of my ass. After the battle in Bat, a slave was sent over here. Guess that works fine enough. That's more food generation. Need to worry about loyalty revolt risk. We did get a new population as well. This allows me to build something new here. A land expansion's popped up. That would be pretty useful to open up even more slots. Salt House has been completed over here, and now there's no room for anything. But in 1 turn, we will get another population, and that would be nice. Otherwise, let's see right here. A guard tower has been completed, and we still have exactly 1 slot. Now, heavy infantry is kind of meh. We already have access to that. 0 slot usage or whatever. 1 infrastructure is not a lot. I guess a bonus of 5 XP isn't terrible. So adding that to more locations wouldn't be insanely bad, especially if it allows more things to pop up. Especially in the region where I have so much of this stuff anyway. The bonus XP could definitely be nice. Can be ported from Syria and Adramite. Adramite. So that's mine. This flax is not too common for me. Well, okay. For the I'll build like my second ever training ground, sure. 1 infrastructure, not a lot. The glassworks has been disassembled. People servicing it have been dispatched to another job. We actually have positive infrastructure. Definitely want to leave 2 guys there. I don't want to run out of food. Even if it speeds it up by 1 turn, we'll just stay with this for right now. That's perfectly fine with the way those citizens are split. Still 3 turns on this underpacification, but we're definitely able to get started on this if we'd like. The food bonuses will, of course, kind of fix themselves up. I can move 2 citizens down here for right now, and then just kind of focus on that. That would definitely work. There's a new population over here, but not much I would change. Not right now. No. And then all these other ones that have been taken over, I mean, this one looks really good. I could definitely add to other things here. We don't need this much focus. I could even add to culture at this point. We just need enough infrastructure to get this ranch built. I don't know why it looks so crazy. It looks so crazy. This is a province now, so good to remember. Infrastructure is technically being shared, which is why so many things over here might actually be going kind of slowly. I'll take that ending where it's down from 17 to 13 in 2 different locations. Speeds it up all around if I just move 1 citizen down here for right now. Take whatever boost we can get in this region. In this province, in fact. Now, again, I will have to figure out some kind of replacement over here for that elephant. It is probably just going to be a regular infantry, so we could start getting some siege value onto that now that my money stunt, manpower saving stunt with elephants has seen its first casualty. That definitely seems about right. Placing it over in this region is probably better. I could place it over here, but I don't want to keep the elephants over here because it's just so much food. Even with provincial sharing of food, which is probably why we're going to see more growth over here in general as well. Provincial sharing of food. even with that, it's just not worth it. We don't have enough food for all this military. So let's add that one regular infantry to the queue. I could also like replace it with, say, heavy cavalry, for example, instead of the elephant, because heavy cavalry is so cheap. This also has no siege value. And the thing is, I just know that these stacks are going to want to be siege friendly as much as heavy cavalry can help on the front, and as much as they can definitely pose a threat to something like regular infantry and save in manpower as well at the expense of metal. I still think in the long run, those regular infantry are probably going to be what we need. So we'll get that pumped out. We'll still wait for this to recover fully. Still don't fully know what we're going to do, but now that these guys are distracted, it's less chance that they will attack me. I don't feel like going into any other provinces per se necessarily. So we're just going to stay with that. If we do navally transport, that also won't be the best. We do have food sharing here as well, which should be helpful. Should be nice. Ethiopia has been fighting Nubia and winning. Mostly because Nubia is now at war with Egypt as well. And Nabatea as well as a result. This is new. This wasn't here. But as you see, they've been fighting, and Ethiopia is now pushing into Nubia, actually winning a war. Wonder if they'll expand and take stuff. Getting revenge for that previous war. Be pretty good for them, I suppose. Dang, I thought almost 5,000 money was a lot, but apparently not. Rome has 15,000. Stronger land power. They have a bunch of naval power. A lot of naval power. In fact, it looks like they have the strongest navy in the game. And a lot of trade positive. A lot of positive trade. I'm, like, losing money on trade income. I don't even know who the hell we're supposedly trading with. Because I don't think we are trading with anybody. Yeah, no, we're just losing money in some places due to lack of having resources that we would otherwise need. That's why it's so negative. Rome over there is benefiting from all this amazing trade stuff they have access to. I don't know. Look at that metal starting to get better. I wonder, I guess maybe some buildings have finished somewhere that would add to that, or stopped consuming metal in some way. One elephant's not going to make this big of a difference. There was probably some reinforcement of the heavy infantry that was draining that, though. Remember, that can be pretty brutal on manpower and metal. So for now, let's just go ahead and end turn. Nice and patient as we go over into the turn 62. This could be so laggy when you're in the turn resolution stage, but still not as bad as old Ajod games. Still not as bad. Let's see how this battle goes. There's just full frontage. Okay. Full frontage, and we're missing a guy. Let's see how this goes. Range phase. Worked out pretty well for us. Wiping out their warriors real quick. The skirmishers theoretically don't stand any chance. Yeah, no. And hitting their skirmishers in the rear. Rest of their warriors are wiped out. Those skirmishers putting up a good fight, but not really. Urban militia stands a better chance, but they're going to get up against cavalry that just wiped them out. Yep, that went well for us. We won. Easy peasy. And now that's another province just fully unified. We now have 2 complete provinces right next to each other, which is really great. We're very close to becoming a glorious empire, which is kind of terrifying. I don't know that there is such a thing as a glorious empire yet. Yes, there is. Macedonia, and they're almost at the next stage, actually. That's terrifying, but hey. Improved trade efficiency. But we don't have a commercial port. We don't have a bank. We don't have a market. Oh, we don't have 3 markets. So I can't do this. What would this even be? More trade acumen. Trade acumen. I don't know what trade acumen is. But I guess it's probably good. And then trade range. It seems like trade acumen, based on looking it up, is just your chance to get trades to go through over other potentially competing buyers or sellers. Seems to be just what it is. A new general has become available. He seems really good. Oxynthos, tactician, attack bonuses. Active only in open terrains. Well, he's 25. He doesn't have any massive debuffs. This guy's 51. I think I'm going to swap him out, honestly. Even if it does, you know, drain our experience, it's fine. it doesn't matter. We need someone that's better than that. We were getting kind of debuffed from that. But, let's see. What is this? The name of the location? Yes. Alright, cool. So this is acquired for us now. We're going to see some pretty quick population growth here real quickly. Building an anchorage would be surprisingly quick. I guess also because, you know, of how much this shares with everything around it. I feel like I would want food here sooner rather than later, though. More than anything. And health wouldn't be too bad either. Either that or infrastructure. This produces coal. Yeah, one or the other would be useful. This one builds faster, so let's build that one, which will then slow down everything else to some extent. Growth in 6 turns doesn't change if I do that, but gives me a little more infrastructure in the region. That seems worth it to me. I'll take that. We finished a training ground right here and gotten a new population here. That's pretty nice. Let's see what we can build now. So the trade that didn't take a slot, and we can, you know, we could put a mercenary recruitment center here. I guess if you ever built more than one of these, it would be to get the equipment rolling in, the actual production of equipment. We still only have the 1 slot. Building here would go so fast, it would just outpace literally anything and everything else. There's some decent options here, but I think the one I like the most here is the worship place. Only takes 1 turn to build, but it adds 6 loyalty. This place could use some loyalty. It's going to be done in no time flat, but hey, that infrastructure will just redistribute itself. And we received 1 slave from after that battle that's gone here. That's nice. I haven't dumped anyone else into infrastructure here because I feel like we don't need it, especially as more buildings start adding to it. And look, we have just entirely citizens added up here. There's a surprising amount of potential unrest building up. I still don't understand what makes it add up in citizens, but hey, having anyone into culture seems almost just, you know, wasteful at this point. But with so much population, I feel like, hey, having 1 wouldn't be the worst thing because everything else is just looking so fine. But the new population down here, we can build. We don't have a palisade yet. Well, that takes full priority no matter what. No matter how slots or whatever else goes, a palisade definitely takes full priority. A new population over here in Himjar as well. And that allows me to build... Ooh. Hey, the garum shop's over here now, but with actual access to salt, which would add food and money. There's nothing that doesn't take slots, though. We get a loyalty bonus for adding the fortune teller, as well as some money that I don't need. But I think I'll definitely add the fortune teller to get that little loyalty bonus. That seems to be, again, increasingly important. A population has been added over here. And what does that let me add? There could be another training ground, but I don't think that would be particularly useful. Well, it may not be particularly useful, but there are no other... There's only 1 slot here. So I'll get that rolling just anyway. When considering the quandary of what we're actually going to do, go down here and try to claim this or just go after Arabia, honestly, I think I'm going to pick Arabia. Our truce with them is about to expire in 1 turn, and if they don't attack me, maybe I should beat them to it. That would involve bringing this army over here, which would take 2 turns, sped up a little bit by the presence of roads, and I guess just sending this guy over here to meet him there. Can have them there getting ready to just kind of fight big battles in general. We don't need to worry about taking the capital. And then maybe moving around with our original stack that has all the real potential to siege anything and getting that in a position to go attack these other locations. They do seem to be beating whatever has beaten them up anyway. They just formed the Saracena province, even with me owning 2 of those locations. So I can get ready to kind of go after them. It would take 2 turns to get me over here. We would definitely drain the food this region has to offer by getting a position. But by that turn, we would be ready to go to war. So I'll get that movement set up. And then with that, we have a nice full turn and a nice full episode. So I'm going to end this one here and we'll pick up on the next one. So for now, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you on the next one.